$1 million fraud scheme and a lot of victims. This all happened through an alleged growth and coaching business.
$1 million misrepresentation conspire and a ton of casualties. This all occurred through a supposed development and instructing business a piece of it run via virtual entertainment individuals paid great cash for their administrations, yet left with nothing police. Say it was each of the a trick I will ask that you is that tomb scratching no, it's a miss the other woman, the SS woman, gracious strawberry. No doubt on occasion, a story goes along that is so stunning, so unforeseen, that it makes a permanent imprint on mainstream society today. We're digging into one such story that is quickly unfurling and has the world as eager and anxious as can be the spotlight radiates on. In all honesty, Shirley Strawberry and her significant other Ernesto, I have a testimony his significant other will be an individual of some open reputation. So her location doesn't turn into a common sense for her public. Despite the fact that she cherishes her public obligation, she needs some private protection periodically. Two greetings everybody, and welcome back to Secret Life Station. Now, before we take a profound plunge for those of you new, we should set the stage. Shirley Strawberry, with her notorious presence in the realm of amusement, has forever been an awe-inspiring phenomenon. Accompanying her in the public's look was Ernesto, her apparently dedicated spouse. Together, they seemed like simply one more power couple exploring the thrill ride that is distinction anyway. The veneer of their relationship started to break, uncovering hazier bits of insight. Underneath, you see murmurs regarding the team have consistently drifted around the business. A missed public appearance here, an enigmatic proclamation. There they presently seem like bits of a riddle that was inconspicuous. Some even review old stories that alluded to pressures and covered clashes. Yet nothing could set us up for the tsunami that was going to hit. I would likewise demand that there be a lower leg screen put on Mr. Williams, as well as they have no web access by any means, and no contact with any excavators or creatures. The intricacy of this examination is unrivaled from what we've assembled, and trust us when we say our sources are perfect. This isn't a brief debate. Our unknown insider, somebody profoundly entrapped in this present circumstance, portrays a story that has been stewing underneath the surface for quite a long time. Their disclosures pulverizing Ernesto's supposed contribution in violations, especially those disturbing minors, isn't a stunning disclosure, yet one that strikes nearer to home than we might have at any point envisioned. We're discussing charges encompassing Shirley's own special grandkids, and on the off chance that that wasn't sufficient proof, currently proposes that Shirley could have realized more than she let on. Put up the woman, and the least house nearby is Ernest's sweetheart slice colleague. Cut, I don't have the foggiest idea what else now for those speedy to pass judgment on. We should not fail to remember that Hollywood has seen its reasonable portion of big names trapped in lawful strife. Popular assessment is flighty, changing with each new piece of proof, and each enthusiastic explanation that will impact of these charges has been monstrous. Recollect, numerous VIPs have endured tempests of contention before yet each case leaves its own extraordinary effect. Concerning certainly the consequences are now being felt. Sponsorships are yet to be determined. Ventures are being re-examined, and her once unapproachable public picture, it's under extreme examination. Fans overall are torn, while many are in dismay, unfit to comprehend the gravity of the allegations. Others are energizing behind her, having faith in her guiltlessness. He can't be around Shirley's girl, who is supposed to be a casualty of his Shirley's grandkids, who are supposed to be survivors of his. Before we dig further into the embarrassment that is shaking the conflict universe of Shirley Strawberry and her better half Ernesto Williams, we should recollect that the Court of General Assessment is an unpredictable one. Even as sponsorships and tasks are being re-examined, how about we center around the unfurling charges that are excessively intense? To disregard the examination that at first began in Georgia is currently spreading its wings to California, with new observers and casualties approaching. A portion of these observers have close connections to different superstars, making the examination a confounded web of high-profile associations. How these individuals may be involved is impossible to say, yet the ramifications for Shirley and Ernesto could be tremendous and harming too. He's viewed as risky now. The chilling heart of the claims against Ernesto reports recommend that two of his own kids are among the supposed casualties. Envision the gravity of such cases on Ernesto's public picture, as well as on Shirley's. These aren't simple allegations. These are terrible violations that, in the event that validated, will decimate families and conceivably end professions. Have various individuals we would demand no contact with to Sheridan Strawberry and her children, adding greater intricacy to the story. Murmurs are arising going to Ernesto's past marriage. Little has been broadcasted about it, yet hypothesis flourishes that his earlier relationship could additionally entangle the accounts encompassing him. And clearly, the way in which we don't have every one of the subtleties, yet a revaluation of Ernesto's past is unavoidable now. We should discuss insider experiences. A mysterious source near the circumstance lets us know that Shirley might have been more profoundly involved than we at first suspected. Shirley wasn't choosing not to see. She realized what was going on. Anybody talking about in any case is tricking themselves, said the insider. Even VIPs are showing up with some limiting any association with both Shirley and Ernesto, while others are calling for persistence and fair treatment. The responses are basically as different as individuals themselves, yet one thing's without a doubt: Shirley's standing remains in a critical state. And that is the thing you will make do with. I must stick alongside. So in the event that you figured the show couldn't raise further, you were off base. Now we dig into the gradually expanding influences of this unstable circumstance. The inquiries around Shirley's information on Ernesto's supposed wrongdoings are coming into more keen center. Did she know? And how should she not? After the insider disclosures we examined, we've seen an unpretentious change in Shirley's public conduct. Her web-based entertainment posts have become vaguer, and she's evading direct inquiries and interviews. It resembles she unexpectedly embraced a strategy of toning it down. Would be ideal, maybe understanding that each word could be utilized against her in this fragile circumstance. And now you realize certain individuals say deservedly so on the grounds that he duped. He had a wonderful family, and he cheated and lost his family, getting the focus on Ernesto's past. We've uncovered some disrupting subtleties that probably won't shock you. Well, before these frightening charges, including diggers, became exposed, Ernie had proactively confronted lesser legitimate difficulties in California. We found out about another lady he purportedly controlled a long time back, illustrating a man with an example of upsetting conduct. His past resembles a shadow developing, hazier and more unpropitious, influencing him, as well as how we view Shirley's conceivable complicity regarding this situation. Let me say this, and you better accept: Hollywood is ringing in. Famous people and forces to be reckoned with are spreading the word about their positions. Some are unequivocally moving away from the pair, while others are embracing a pensive methodology. I've known Shirley for quite a long time, and it's difficult for me to truly make sense of this. I need a rundown entertainer who wished to stay mysterious, yet on the off chance that the charges are valid, a fair outcome should be given. No inquiry now. How might this affect the power couple's domain? Well, as far as undertakings and sponsorships, how about we say the dominoes are beginning to fall? A few brands have previously pulled their sponsorships, and it's been accounted for that a significant movie task, including Shirley, is currently under survey. Fate of her vocation is barely holding on, and this embarrassment may very well be the scissors. The more we wrap up this section, it's memorable's vital that at the core of this dramatization and theory are genuine casualties, individuals whose lives have been unalterably changed. As we energetically consume each update, we should not fail to remember the significance of supporting these casualties, assuming that you or somebody you know is impacted by comparable issues. There are assets accessible for assist associations, with preferring precipitation or kid assist. With offering pivotal help, the weightness of the circumstance stretches out a long ways, past the glare of the Hollywood spotlight. It's a question of equity of lives forever modified. And a story, sadly, is nowhere near finished. So is Shirley's and Ernesto's universes. Keep on disentangling the resonations are felt all over influencing them, as well as undulating through the whole business, reshaping conclusions and coalitions. And trust us, we're similarly, however, excited as you may be to perceive the way in which this all unfurls as the steady tide of contention keeps on rising. It's difficult to disregard the shadow that presently lingers over Shirley and Ernesto. The general population watches, with teased breath, contemplating the dubious fate of a once celebrated couple. While Ernesto sits in the slammer, confronting a blast of allegations, murmurs regarding Shirley's position are becoming difficult to overlook on a superficial level, she appears to.